traveler and you like going around to different destinations. While the actual destinations, attractiveness can be things like, say, it can be pilgrimage or adventure or any of those things. But what makes the traveler actually like to be more comfortable to go there is things like safety, the ability to get a visa without too much of a hassle, and the ability to go in and come out and all of that, right? So if you take that, the same thing to money, right? So money looks for big opportunities. But when you're looking for big opportunities, we're also wanting to ensure that we are having these opportunities along with safety, security of the thing, the whole process being easy to go through and all of that, right? So what we are going to discuss today is when capital flow, when money flows between India and the Gulf, either ways, what are some of these things that can really help us to ensure that the opportunities are finding the money, right? And what's stopping them, what's helping them, and what does it that we think can be better? That's pretty much what we are looking to do today, right? So, and especially in the next decade, you will see more of things like climate and geopolitics, etc., playing a lot larger part. So, it's good to see where we are right now and what we think is important for us, right? So let's look at the first, what's already working, right? It's already working, what's working. So what, according to you, are the policy changes that have unlocked the capital flows in the recent past? So a lot of things have happened in the recent past between India and Gulf, specifically in India and in the Gulf. So what, according to you, would you say are things that are already helped us from a policy perspective that have unlocked capital flows in each direction? So I would like to start out. Anil, you want to start? Take a stab.
I can start if you want. Sure. You want I can start?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and thanks to XLRI for calling me here. I'm also happy to say that I'm also not from the CXO, but I'm also a faculty. So it makes me doubly happy to be among this audience. An excellent question that you started off. When we talk about the example that you gave me about capital flows and how best we can make that more interesting as if it's a traveler, I think past, as you all know, that the liberalization has worked a lot for all countries. A country like India, which is very massive, and then luckily after 1991 we had the liberalization. But the same thing is happening around. For example, I have come here, it's my 27th year, so I can see that how UAE as a country has transformed, right? If somebody has asked me, where is heaven? I would have said Dubai in 2016, though I may not completely say today the same way, but things have changed. This is basically because of the liberalization from all countries in the East particularly, because West has always been posing that they have been great, but now the change is happening. The East is changing, number one. Also, the governments have started functioning more like business units. I don't want to go any political comment here. The country leaders, they also started thinking like CEOs. But however, the very perspective of CEO is also changed. Sometimes I always say, a chief is a chef actually. He's like a chef. You should know how to cook everything. If you are going to be a Chinese, if you are craving for dosa, I should serve you dosa without you asking me. So that's the change happening. So I think even the country leaders have started changing, and you can see that from UAE. How can you explain Saudi has become like this? Nobody would have examined. So this liberalization has helped us. And plus the sovereign funds that which we have already started. So the governments have started putting the money in the different countries where they can make better out of this. Just simply not looking at West. I think that's the second thing has happened. Third, we'll have to give it to the digital thing. Suppose the digital is now connecting everybody. It's not only the people, the community, the country, everything is connected. But however, the digital connectivity has not translated into full potential. That also we have to agree. Curiously, I was looking at the ease of doing business, right? 2020 to 2025, India is still 63. But whereas all the Gulf countries have moved up at least 10 to 15 ranks ahead. So these changes as happening, the liberalization changes, the sovereign fund kind of attitude from the government leaders, and plus the digital connectivity and the ease of doing business. These are the three things I would say that has happened and successful. But whether it is to be the full potential or not, I think we'll have to examine.
Okay. Venkatesh, so that's from a orientation standpoint, right? And also how rulers and governments are shifting their mindsets. But if you were to look at specifically, are there some policies you think? For example, one thing that I can think of is we in India we started having rates and investment, the REITs, others that started getting. So something similar. Are there some things?
So if you look at Dubai region, especially, when I say I should not focus only on UAE, basically, maybe even Saudi, right? So if you look at Dubai, the recent years, the visa regulations have changed a lot. So point number one, right? And again, we know that we do have the golden visa. So that's actually easing a lot. So getting a golden visa is not a big deal right now. You can get it through multiple ways. If you are investing, special talents, all those things are there. So that's one of the huge change what happened. And again, investment friendly, the sustainability and stability which this country is offering is actually one of the main reason why people are putting a lot of, kind of investment, and real estate is booming in this region, right? Especially the same thing if you look at Saudi is also more or less, I won't say copying the same track. Saudi also introduced something similar to golden visa. I don't know the name of that. Some similar to golden visa they also started. The freehold properties are also coming in this region a lot recently. So these kind of things are, if you look at recent change which happened maybe in a couple of days, but Dubai, UAE have a lot of, Dubai is having a lot of free zones, right? Now the free zones, the problem was free zone entities, they were not allowed legally to trade to the mainland. But from yesterday, it's allowed. You can get a license, you can do the business in mainland as well. So all these things are actually changing a lot in an investment perspective.
Absolutely. I'm just going to pick on one. You mentioned about the construction industry, which is booming. Now, this country went into a great recession in 2008, right?
2008, yeah.
And especially in the real estate sector, because a lot of people lost money that time. But now, coming back to the point you were making, policy changes and frameworks that evolve. How does it impact capital investment? So now this is the biggest hub today for capital to come in the construction sector. People are buying properties. But the government has done a lot in terms of reforming. For example, the RERA here. So earlier what had happened, a lot of builders, sold off plan and then they disappeared, they became bankrupt or they fled.
Yeah.
Now there's a framework based on policy which says that if you as an investor put in money, that goes into an escrow. It doesn't go to the builder. And then it is released from there based on the level of construction or the progress of the construction. So in that sense, there is more security for people to invest because they know that there are regulations and frameworks which are going to protect them. So that's one major change which has happened. Of course, the region has also attracted a lot of money because of external reasons, the conflicts which are happening. So 2 years back, the maximum amount of money that was going to real estate was from Russia, Ukraine.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically.
Now also Israel. So that India has been an evergreen, friend in terms of investment here. So policies and regulations, over a period of time, they have liberalized golden visa. So accessibility to the country has increased tremendously over a period of time now. So it's easy for you to get a consultant visa, education visa, golden visa, property investment visa, all kinds of visa. Obviously, there are pros and cons of that. It has opened the floodgates for a lot of people to come in here, but it's also putting a pressure on the infrastructure.
Good problem to solve.
Good problem to solve, yeah. So people complain about traffic, etc., etc. But you can see the economy is bustling, right? So these are within the framework of policy changes, it is transformational. The other aspects, and I'm sure we're going to pick up on that, in terms of becoming an innovation hub and saying that, okay, we are going to be on the forefront of technology. But I'll
So just on that, and I think I was going to make similar points, and I feel then, and this is just my feeling, I feel in the last about 5-7 years, somehow the world transitioned from information to intelligence, somehow, and I think it got accelerated after COVID-19 and all the lockdown and then opening up, etc. So in my view, I think capital now follows human capital. Right. I think I think that is a realization that is also setting in a lot. So I think the answer is that it's not about, oh, you get money first and then people will follow. Right. You get the smartest people in the world in one place, money will follow. And I think that's where the vision 2030, vision 2050, I think the 100 centennial vision 2070. I think those are the things where we're saying we transition from a predominantly oil-based economy to more information, intelligence-based economy, sustainable economy, etc. So I think those are the concepts, because so this region has missed the industrial age, right? And there's no point catching up on that. Right. We also somehow were in this crux when information age, again, there were some benefits that came and not every, but now is the time. I think you have clean or not, well, you have a lot of power available, you have sustainability initiatives, etc. There's no reason why this cannot drive the next generation of AI and
so I'm also